Mamachi is a non-for-profit organization that combines dance programs with education and humanitarian projects, and whose goal is to promote unity and diversity and empower youth to develop their capacities through art, cultural exchange, and leadership development programs. My name is Nana Natalie D'Espagne, and I created Mamachee 10 years ago after I lived in Niger in West Africa, the poorest country of the world. I got so touched by the poverty and the lack of education in this country that I decided to create something with my job and passion, that is dancing, to help the disadvantaged children to go to school, and that's when I created Mamachee. It was 2006, and I was a student at Broadway Dance Center in New York City, and I didn't have any money to start up my project. All I had was a heart who wanted to help. But luckily, I met these amazing souls and dance teachers who trusted in my intentions, believed in my capacities, and helped me out to raise money so that I can start up my project. And SPEX BOOGIE was one of them. Thanks to him and to all the other dance teachers who helped me out at the beginning, because I was able to send the first girl to school. Now 10 years later, I'm still doing this project, and Mamachee is now sending 3 girls to school every year. To celebrate the Mamachee 10 years anniversary and jubilee, SPEX BOOGIE, who was one of the first one to help 10 years ago, came back to support Mamachee and did an amazing hip-hop dance workshop and lecture in Sweden, where part of the proceeds will be sent to Mamachee Education Project in Niger to continue to send our 3 girls to school. To make this happen, Mamachee collaborated with Marijazz Dansskola, an amazing dance school in Höllviken that always supports Mamachee and the education of our girls in Niger. Hello everybody!
What up?
What up? This is SPEX here, SPEX BOOGIE, amazing dancer from New York. And now we're on our way to teach, a dance workshop with Mamachee organization. And we're gonna try to teach some hip-hop grooves. So what are you gonna do in your class, SPEX?
Do some hip-hop grooves and keep people lit.
Yes, exactly. And some hip-hop culture we're gonna learn. And we're also gonna raise money for the African kids in Niger at the same time. So we're dancing for a good cause.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This cause, which I think is very important, being that I'm of direct African descent, both of my parents being born and raised in Ghana, I think this is a step in the right direction to help a lot of kids who are in need of school supplies and better quality of life and education. I think it's awesome. So me being here, I'm just going to show you what I have to offer and how I approach hip-hop dance and things that I was privileged to learn from other people who have inspired me, and I'm putting my spin on that, and hopefully you get inspired too. So with no further ado, I'm going to do what I do.
Woo! Yes!
Hip-hop started as a movement, not just the dance, but a lot of different aspects that made hip-hop what it is today.
Climb the chart, better known as statistics. The killers on my job, while I'm kicking ballistics, dropping hits like I'm house, we got the chillin' more.
Hip-hop is a cultural expression of people who have been disenfranchised. A lot of poor people who didn't have a lot of resources. People like Africa Bambaataa, who saw the need for people to stop the violence, or at least to curtail it, because of the frenzy of the dancing that was going on with top rocking and the early elements of what breaking would later become. Instead of actually shooting at each other literally or fighting each other, they would use these moves to, you know, to dance it out. So you sell scores and beefs that you have with people through this new way of movement. Hip hop is always centered around a groove. Any dance that you do is based off of a groove. So if you understand the groove of every step and you know how to groove, then the dance becomes easier. And then once you understand that groove, then you become more inclined to create your own thing based on the steps that you're doing, making your own signature things happen. That's what hip hop has been culturally, you know. So what we're going to do right now is just let's play with some grooves first, and then I'm gonna put some moves together, some dance steps, and then we're gonna put those dance steps together and put a routine together. All right, so I'm gonna go through different decades, but what I'm gonna do is just get you in the groove first. All right, so here we go. So the way you people groove is just basically here. See how your head is rocking here? All right, you go this way, to the left, and the right. Chest. Bring your head. Left.
So now we're at Marijazzz Dansskola. It's my dance school in Höllviken, and we have SPEX here, and through Mamachee and Nana. And it's very nice to have them here, and it feels so good to be able to do something for someone else. And we do, for the kids in Africa, in Niger. We send them some money so they can get education and enjoy life, just as our kids are doing here.
Yes, and I have to give a hug to this woman right here. She's amazing, and she always supports Mamachi and the kids in Africa. But she also do a lot for other kids. She helps also other causes. And she has an amazing dance school in Höllviken.
Yeah.
Go check that out, Marijazz Dansskola.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, once again with feet. Other side. Here you go. So our body goes whoop, whoop. Step in on that right leg. So you're gonna go whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop. Then do the same thing. Whoop. 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 Well, in hip hop, there's a regiment too. You have to understand the steps. What steps are part of hip hop? No matter what the era. If somebody as old as me, they should be able to tell you, okay, what the 80s dances are, what the 90s dances are, the 2000s. You know, and to be able to tell you how to do all of those dances, or as many as they know, and then put it together in sequence and choreography. Then it's bang, bang. Then you got then groove it out. The thing that hip hop offers you is the ability to find yourself as well. So a teacher can also show you how to put these steps together your own way to the music. And that's the beauty of what hip hop has to offer in its own right. But any style of dance, you should be able to freestyle that. That's what it really means to be part of hip hop, is just to embrace everything.
Bang, bang, shot, everybody gone. Bang, 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 shot, everybody gone. 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 Bang, 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 shot, everybody gone.
To be on my first dance battle, and I was wondering if you have some tips for me that I can use when I battle.
When you battle, just think about that music. Think about how you're interpreting the music and show your love of the dance through your love of the music. That's it.
Thank you.
So, as I told you before the class, I met SPEX 10 years ago when I moved to New York to study. I fell in love with hip hop because that was, as you said, that was a culture as well in Paris. It kept me out of trouble a lot. I was in a school with a lot of violence, very ghetto, so that's the thing that helped me to express myself in a positive way instead of going to take drugs or starting to go into violent stuff. And so when I created my organization Mamachee 10 years ago, and I wanted to help the kids in Africa because I lived there and I thought that was horrible, that kids don't have access to education or nothing. SPEX was the first one who helped me out to do it. And 10 years after, I'm still doing it. I'm sending these girls to school and it's coming to celebrate the 10 years jubilee to teach you his culture. Because that's also what I want to do in this organization, is to teach people's culture. And it's not only about steps, it's also about the history behind the steps, so you can do it better if you understand where it's from and express yourself the way you want with the steps that you have. Not only it's a culture, not only it's a dance, but it's also a human thing. For me, dance is an amazing tool to use that we can use to do something positive. I decided myself to do it to help kids in Africa to get an education. You can decide your own self, but I want to also say this, it's not only about a dance class and a dance teacher, it's also a long friendship story and a good heart man who want to use his dancing to also help a good cause and help the kids to have an education in Africa. And I thank you so much, you guys, for coming, and I hope you learned so much from him. I know you did, because he knows so much. And thanks a lot, because this workshop has been helping kids to go to school, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
In this workshop, we created a bridge between America, Europe, and Africa to promote togetherness. One of Mamachee's goals is to use art to create a cultural exchange bridge between different cultures to inspire students and people, help each other, and promote unity and diversity.